Just a friendly reminder, no drawing in the making of this video is hurt. Now please enjoy the video.
Hey, what is going on, guys? It is I Medical Calculate, and in today's video, I am preparing something a little bit special for you guys. So, as you may know, I have been working on the Break-In movie, and yep, Break-In 1 and 2, I'm planning on putting in the same video, which is going to take a while. I'm currently aiming to release the movie no more than late May, and I know it's going to be a while for all of you guys to wait. So, while you wait, in the meantime, I am preparing up a behind the scenes video. So I'm going to be showing you how I basically make my scenes and how I basically pose my characters in those scenes. I've actually finished Breaking 1, so this is actually going to be a scene remake. I'm going to show you the original scene on how it went. So here's the original scene. Don't mind that photo over there, but this was the original scene. Now, I don't hate this scene, but I was just a little unhappy on how it came up with one detail on it. So I'm actually happy with this part where Yusuf is actually aggressively picking up Edward. I'm not going to tell what this scene is exactly, but I'm pretty sure you'll get it. So yep, Yusuf is aggressively picking up Edward, and this guy, I'm not going to reveal his name yet. I'm going to reveal the characters' names later. He's trying to stop him from doing that. Now, I was happy with this part, but it was this part that I was unhappy with. So, these two, Annie and this guy, I'm not going to reveal this guy's name yet. You probably know Annie because I mentioned her in Yusuf's troll Rizzy relationship. I'm not gonna actually give away on how Annie is related to Yusuf in the movie, but these two were fighting for the bed and he was getting a bit aggressive. So initially I was actually planning for him to actually pick up Annie in a more aggressive way, but my laziness beat me to the battle and I just made it where she just moved up while her arm moved up and he pretty much didn't do any arm movement. And yet that's why I was unhappy with this scene. So what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be remaking this scene. And now you might be questioning about these two characters. Well, this is only going to be one part of the scene. I'm not going to give away the whole scene. So yep, I'm going to be remaking this scene where they have a little bit of more emotion in the scene, and I'm going to be showing you how I do it. So yep, let's get started. Okay, so before I actually get into the first step of my behind the scenes, I'm going to show you how I get my settings picture. So you can basically get your settings picture in any game if you want. It could be Little Piggy, Baldi, any game you want, but I'm going to be doing it in this game, so SpongeBob Simulator. So I'm just going to go into the game real quick and let's just wait for it to load. There you go. Now, I go into first person mode and I enable this feature, the captures feature, and then I just literally press the button and there you go. It just takes photo. Then I go to captures and I save the photo. Okay, now I'm going to get into the next step on how I basically remove the UI. So now, as for the next step, I use this app called Epic Photo Editor. So I go in here, I start editing, and then I just open the photo, and then I use the remove tool, and it's completely free on this app. So I just look at the parts that I want to get rid of. So I want to get rid of this, of course. Now, it may not look perfect, but don't worry, trust me, you'll get used to it eventually. And then I just find the other stuff I want to get rid of. So, like, all of that. Okay, let's just quickly. There we go. And yep, it may not be perfect, but trust me, you'll get used to it. Just like that. And then I just simply save the picture. And there you go. We now have a good picture with no UI in it. Now I can show you on how I basically make the scenes. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to get onto showing on how I separate the body parts, but with a little bit more in depth of it, because in my last tutorial I did show you how I pose my characters, but due to my movie having way more advanced movements, that tutorial clearly wasn't enough, and I'm going to be giving you a little more in-depth tutorial on how I do it. So I'm going to be doing it with the well-known, serious, goofy, and pretty Rizzy Yusuf. So here we go. I'm going to now use the lasso tool, and I'm just going to go over his arms, basically, like that. Okay, and I'm just making sure to get his arms. Now, I just do it like that because I like to add a little glow white outer onto them so that they don't blend in within dark scenes. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna basically copy it, and then I'm gonna sever his arms. Okay, now after doing that, I'm just gonna simply paste it. And don't worry, no Yusuf was hurt in the making of this video. Alright, and now I'm gonna paste it one more time. So, and the reason I'm doing this is so that one layer can have one of his arm and the other layer can have his other arm. So you see, here's his one arm with the red glove and the other one with the blue glove. And now to make it not look cut off, what I would simply do is that I would extend it just a little bit, and then I would close the arm. And I would repeat the same thing for the other one, and just, yeah. So it can look like as if it's actually like that. Just, there we go. So now, and then a way I would do it is that I would just basically put it behind him, and then I would just basically have it move it around like that. Okay, but let's currently undo what I just did. Okay. And now it would be the same thing for his legs. So now, as the way I drew my characters is that I actually made one of the legs a little fat for when they're just standing normally. So what I would usually do just for my drawings, you don't have to do this if you're a good artist, but I would just simply get rid of that leg. And I would just copy the skinnier leg as it is more easier to move around. I would copy it and I would paste it. And then once again, I would do a sever to his leg. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to copy his leg one more time. And I'm just going to move it around like that. And there we go. I now have all of his body parts separated. I would usually put the legs under him, so then it can sort of move like that so that he can have good movement. And now I'm just going to put his arms up. Yeah, reason I do it like this is so that it can actually go like this. But if it doesn't perfect it, I would just make another layer, and I would just simply go on his jacket color, and I would just close it up. Okay, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm not gonna do that just yet. It's gonna be for a later scene. And then I would obviously add facial expressions to his thing, and I just make sure to have his arm a little bit above the leg, so then it could be easier to find. So yeah, that is basically how I make the body parts move. And now I'm gonna go ahead and go sever the other parts of my other characters. Okay, so I just got done severing the body parts of my characters, and trust me, they were definitely not hurt in the process of this. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I basically pose them now. So what I would do sometimes is that just to make it easier, I would make the other characters transparent, the ones that are near the other ones. So first up, I'm going to start off with the interactions between Yusuf and Edward. Now, sometimes when I'm doing reactions, I would copy the main part, and the reason I would do that is that so when I move it up, the original one can be saved, because when I move it back down, that part that was moved out of the screen is going to be cut off. But okay, let me just get it back into its original position. There we go. Okay. And then I will make the other one transparent. So yeah. Now I'm just going to move Eustace. Arm with the red glove up over Edward. Oops. There we go, like that. And now this is where the character interaction parts begin. Okay. So let's go. Okay. So now I'm just going to move Edward a little bit up to the screen so to make it look like as if he's being carried like that. Okay. There we go. And now I'm just going to move his legs up as if he's begging in a way that he's begging to get down. I'm just going to move his arm up like that. Okay, like that. And then let's move his other leg. There we go. Okay. Let's just finish him up, and there we go. Okay. And then I'm gonna move it behind you so that it looks more realistic. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna just put another layer on the top that is behind Edward's main body but over his arm, so then I can just complete his arm so that it can look a bit realistic. Okay. Like that. Okay, there we go. So then now I will just move Yusuf like that. Okay, now I'm gonna do some stuff off camera so that I'm pretty sure you guys would get a bit bored just seeing me do extra stuff. So I'm gonna stop recording, and then I'll come back when I finish with the recording. Okay, there we go. So yeah, these are the interactions between the characters that I finished off camera. So now I'm having Yusuf basically picking up Edward, but don't worry, these two are not gonna be happy. They're basically beefing around with each other. And then I have this guy, which I'm not gonna reveal his name yet, trying to stop them. So now I'm gonna show you how I do facial expressions on these characters. So one thing that I would do is that I would always keep the eyes, because whenever I try to redraw the eyes, they would turn out terribly bad. So I'm just gonna go around like this. There we go, like that. Okay, so let's just make sure it's perfect in the way. Okay, there we go. That should do the trick. And now I would copy his skin color, just make the new eyes transparent, and I would just literally go over his entire face. There we go. So now we have this new face, and now I'm just gonna go make a new layer, and then I'm just gonna draw his eyebrows. So it's gonna be angry eyebrows, and then he's just gonna be talking like that. There we go. Okay, wait. Sometimes I just want to go back and fix it just so that it is like that. There we go. Now I'm gonna do it with Edward, but this time his eyes are gonna be white, likely he's literally screaming his lungs out. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna get rid of his eyes and his mouth. There we go. And then I'm just gonna draw a not too thin, not too thick circle, but just the right pencil size. There we go. Okay, wait 1 second. I'm just gonna fix that up so that there we go. Let's just make sure this is okay. I'm gonna fix that off. There we go, just like that. So now it looks like that Edward is basically screaming his lungs out. So basically, I just made his eye smaller, and then I was able to draw his mouth and the size I wanted. So now I'm just gonna add in some white using the paint bucket tool, and there we go. Now it looks like as if he's screaming his lungs out. So now I'm just gonna do this guy's expression, and just like I told you, I'm not gonna reveal his name yet. So okay, there we go. Let's make him okay, there we go. Now I'm just gonna draw over his eyes so that it's the original shape. Okay, like that. Okay, and now I'm gonna show you something else I would do sometimes. Okay, there we go. His eyes are perfect, and now let's draw his mouth, and let's give him the angry eyebrows. I like to go thin on his eyebrows, and I would always make it touch the eyes because it looks weird like that. And now something I would do sometimes is that, okay, I would just basically copy the color and go over the bottom of his eyes so that we could have this expression of his. And there you go. I finished the original part, so this is the new part, and now I'm just gonna also record remaking this part of the scene. Okay, now I'm gonna be showing you me recreating this scene. So now before I get into recreating this scene, something that I would do with Annie is that basically in the original drawing of her hair goes through her arms, and then basically when I move her arms, her hair would also get caught when I'm using the lasso tool. So what I would do is that I would basically copy her arms 4 times, and for the first 2, I would just basically remove the hair and redraw over the area where her hair was, and then for the second 2, I would erase the arms, and then I would basically just be left off with the hair. So now I'm gonna do the same thing for Edward. Is basically okay, there she is. I'm basically just gonna copy and paste it like that. So there we go, because when I'm gonna move her up, it's gonna basically be cut off. So there we go. I'm just gonna make her a little closer to this guy, as I told you, I'm not gonna reveal his name yet, but I'm pretty sure you may find out his name before I actually reveal it. Okay, so I'm just gonna move her body parts a little bit closer to him, because I actually did that to Edward, because sometimes the arms of these characters would turn out abnormally large, and I would be too lazy to go back and fix it. So yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna move her up. There we go, like that. There we go. And now I'm just gonna have the character interactions between these two. Okay. So, oops. Let's just find his. Okay, there we go. Like that. Okay. There we go. And now it may turn abnormal. This guy's arm may turn abnormally large, but it's okay. Just like these settings pictures, you will get used to it. Don't worry. unless you're diagnosed with OCD. Okay, there we go. Just like that. And I would do this on another layer because when basically moving his arms so that it can remove the original portion. Like that. Okay? Now, I'm just gonna move his arm behind Annie's original body so then it can look like as if he's picking Annie up. There we go. Now it looks like as if he's picking Annie up. So now I'm just gonna move Annie's arm up like that. There we go. I would basically not really fix it on when it's behind something because then it wouldn't look too derpy and all that. So there we go. I'm just going to there we go. I'm just gonna move it out. Okay, now I'm going to take the other layer and then I'm just going to do like that. Oh, oops. I was trying to copy the color. There we go. Like that. There we go. Now I'm just gonna have her legs move the same way as Edward's legs did. There we go. And I'm gonna have it move up just like that, so as if she's actually being held up in the air. Like that. And I'm gonna make the movement a bit more realistic off camera. I'm just gonna finish the poses with no facial expressions off camera. So then, yeah, when I come back, I will show you the facial expressions one more time. Alright, so here we are, the poses that were finished up off camera, and yeah. So now I'm gonna be doing the facial expressions of these characters. And just like Yusuf and Edward and the other guy, I'm gonna be copying the eyes for Annie. Oops, let me just make sure it's being done in the right color. There we go. Black. So I'm just gonna outline it, and then when it's... There we go. I'm just gonna move it down for now, just so that I can see where I'm coloring it. Exactly. Okay, yeah, so this is for the other scenes, which I'm not going to give away. Okay. There we go. I'm just gonna have it copied for later. Okay, and now, just like I did with Yusuf and Edward, I'm gonna get rid of her face. Just like that, okay. And now I'm gonna do the same thing I was doing for Edward, but yeah, the screaming out of their lungs eyes. But unlike Edward being mad, Annie's actually gonna be scared, like, oh my god, put me down! Okay, there we go. So let's just make sure, I just want to make sure this, okay, I'm just gonna shrink it down like that. There we go. Okay, now just wanting to make sure it's perfect. Okay, so I'll do it off camera. Okay, so let me just finish this. Okay, go. Okay, so I'm just gonna make some changes to her off camera. Alright, so here we are. I finished up with some facial expression changes on Annie. And yeah, I know this scene may look like a goof at the moment, but don't worry. I'm gonna change both of these guys' facial expressions, and I'm actually gonna show you changing them. So yeah, it doesn't look like a goof to you guys. Alright, there we go. So now this is the finished up scene of the newly recreated scene. See, up here we go. This is the newly recreated scene compared to the... Wait, let me pull up the old one real quick. Alright, so I just pulled up the old one. So here it is. Yeah, once again, don't mind that photo over there. But here is the old one. So yep, here is the old version of Yusuf beefing around with Edward. And this is the new one. So I made Edward's eyes a little bit bigger, because it was a bit more modern in my Breaking movie. And then Yusuf's is pretty much the same, and same is with this guy's. But now this is entirely new, because in the original scene, she just basically got lifted up with pretty much not any arm movement. And his movement didn't change either, because it was in a scene that I'm not going to show you, because I'm not giving away that part of the movie. So yep, this is the original scene, and now this scene has a lot more movement and a bit more emotion to that one. So yep, that's pretty much all for the behind the scenes video. And thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe, give us a big thumbs up, leave some comments down below, and press the notification bell so you don't miss any videos on Medical Bucklet, and also so you can stay alerted for the Break-In movie. And yes, this newly created scene is gonna be in the Break-In movie, and because this is the newer version. And yes, guys, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. You guys are the best, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Okay, so actually one more thing I just did to the scene is that I just basically tweaked up the background a little bit just to make it a little bigger, because now I'm actually going to show you the original interaction scene, which is actually this scene. They were basically fighting for the bed in the original scene. Yeah, it was terrible. He just moved her up a bit, so yeah, which is why I wanted to recreate the scene. But in the original scene as well, it was the background. The one I saved was a bit smaller than the original one, so I just tweaked it up a little bit just to make it a bit more original to this one. So yeah, now that's all for today's video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!